Good morning, everyone. This is Barry Fair in episode 16 now, and welcome along to you and to all the viewers out there. And it's been a while since we brought a show to you. So before we get on to today's show, we'd like to apologize for the cancellation of a couple of shows. Well, firstly because I had to stay home because somebody caught COVID. So if you know you have been a close contact, guys, please stay home. Here's Alex Taylor now. Good morning to you. Welcome to episode 16 today.
Thanks, Barry. Thanks for having me on the show. Always good to check in and be a special guest. Yeah, so, and it sounds like we've missed a couple of shows because you've been away. The dreaded COVID has reared its head again.
And what you are seeing here is a COVID rapid testing kit. You can't see it on screen yet, but this is what it is. Okay, if you've got one line, you're good to go, but if you've got two lines, you have to bye-bye out the door. So here's Alec now for his opening sequence on this.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Yep, so as you said, here's your, should I show it to the viewers?
Yeah.
So here's the rapid antigen test that you did today. And at the moment, it's showing just the one line to say that it's working properly, and there's no line to say that you have COVID, which is good, but we haven't given it the full amount of time yet. But it's looking positive, which is good. So it looking like hopefully you've dodged that bullet, from the COVID bullet from last week, and having a housemate with COVID as well.
Yeah. So last time we met on the show, we were talking about the new intro and outro for the show. But we will get to that in a moment. Now, the Easter show, I didn't do that because I had to stay locked down. Now, being locked down is no fun, guys. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, not fun, is it? You have to kind of make the most of your time at home, don't you? And even when you're at home, you kind of have to avoid other people in the house. So it can be quite a tricky time and quite a boring time too. What did you do to keep yourself entertained?
Well, make some YouTube videos about the lockdown, and it was my birthday during that time too.
Oh, happy birthday, mate. Have you turned 40 again?
Ha ha. So I'm 48, Alex.
All right.
So,
yes.
So that's...
Well, happy birthday, mate.
I'm creeping up towards the 50 mark.
The big 50. Yeah, me too, mate. So this year is the big 50 for me.
And not next year, but the year after that, it will be my 50th.
Yeah, big one.
So, guys, yeah, so, guys, I went to the hospital a couple of weeks ago because I had chest pain, which was not very good. So the ambulance from next door here came. So not very good there.
Oh, that sounds awful, mate. Absolutely awful.
So I had to spent some time at the Northern Beaches Hospital. Not very good at that. So I won't go into that on the show. So this is episode 16. Now also we'll be recapping again, dressing appropriately for winter and wearing a mask now. Wearing a mask is compulsory here. Why? So that you don't infect other people. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good rule, isn't it? So, here at Lifestyles, all the staff have to wear a mask, and it's good for protecting the people who might be sick, from, and actually most importantly, helping people who are not sick from people who kind of are sick but maybe even don't know it. You know, you can have maybe mild symptoms or maybe even no symptoms and still be infectious. So it's really important to keep wearing a mask in the workplace, particularly indoors.
Okay, so let's just show you the testing kit again.
Yeah, here it is, and it's looking like still with the solid line, just one line, which is good news, mate. Good news. So no positive for COVID today, which is awesome.
So
that's what you want to see, isn't it?
So please, guys, if you have COVID, please go home. Leave the building immediately. Here's Alec.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. And it's interesting that some people are kind of getting back into the habit of soldiering on and ignoring their symptoms and staying at work, but really you shouldn't do that. I think the whole world has changed now, hasn't it? So if you're sick, test for COVID, and if you're positive, go home and stay isolated. Even if you're not that sick, you know, even if you can still work, it's best for you so you don't affect other people, because of course, you know, it is a life-threatening disease. You know, it is a dangerous disease.
And people can die from it, guys, because, I mean, you may think, oh yeah, you're okay, but as soon as the two lines pop up, bang, kaboom, you've got it. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right. And it is a fatal disease, and it is also still a fatal disease for people who don't have any immune issues. So there are still people who otherwise, you know, normal, healthy people that actually can still die from this really nasty bug, particularly if they get a really big viral load. So it is definitely nasty, and it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And the other one, of course, is long COVID, which we're still trying to figure out. You know, the doctors are still trying to figure out what that's all about. You know, and it does seem like it actually affects some people for a lot longer, you know.
So if you've got COVID, guys, come on, use your common sense. Don't go out, cancel any plans you've made. Okay, please be thoughtful of other people. Okay, please be thoughtful. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, it's always good to be thoughtful and think of other people, isn't it? That's just a good principle in life, not just when it comes to, you know, COVID and being sick and your effect on other people, but just in general to be, you know, considerate of other people. And in terms of common sense, perhaps that's a good sort of transition to talking about appropriate clothing.
Okay, so wear a jumper, a beanie, a scarf, and a skivvy and a singlet. And wear good, comfortable pants as well. Here's Alec.
Yeah, that's right. So the weather here in Sydney is getting colder. So we've just clicked over into May, the last month of autumn, and really in Sydney it does start to get a bit cooler, doesn't it? And so particularly at night time.
So don't stay out in the cold for too long, guys. Because that's how also you can get sick too. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, that's right. You can get quite cold, can't you, if you stay out too long in the cold and you're not wearing appropriate clothing. It's really not good for you, and it's also unpleasant. You know, it's much more pleasant if you're wearing good clothes, staying warm, and then you can almost stay out for as long as you like, can't you? If you're really well dressed.
And remember, get your flu vaccinations as well. Here's Alec now.
Oh, mate, that is a great reminder. I have not got mine yet, and I absolutely must do that. I know someone who's recently caught the flu, influenza A, which is apparently the worst one in terms of sort of influenza A versus influenza B. And yeah, now's a great time to do it, and that's a good reminder for me. I need to get on and do that as well, don't I?
So, if you haven't got it, go to your GP, get it, and then it's a 2-second job, ping, all done, bang. Here's Alec.
Have you had yours done, Barry?
No.
Not yet? You're okay.
So the manager's organising mine.
Oh, good. Your home manager or lifestyles?
My home.
Yeah, right. That's good. It's good the way they do that, isn't it? When your home manager can organise it for everyone. That's the best way of doing it. So yeah, in fact, that's one of the things that happens with a lot of people, isn't it? That they get it at their workplace or if their home organises it. It's really good to use one of those programs to get it done, isn't it?
So don't forget about it, guys. Now, you may recall back in 2021, we talked about eating warm foods for winter, like nice warm oats for breakfast, with some stewed fruit, some golden syrup and brown sugar. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, great idea, mate. So warm breakfasts, lots of different options, aren't there, for warm breakfasts and warm meals generally. What's your favourite sort of warm breakfast?
Porridge with warm milk.
Yep, super yummy. And are you a golden syrup or
Brown sugar.
Yep, yum, really nice. And it's not really a kind of breakfast that you have in summer, is it? You're much more likely to have it on the colder mornings in the cooler months. Are there some other warm breakfasts that you like?
Well, porridge, some wheat bix, and have granola too with warm milk.
Oh, yeah.
And if you like a hot breakfast, have an omelette with some bacon, egg, cheese, you name it, it's all there. Here's Alec.
Oh, mate, yeah, omelettes are fantastic, aren't they? And you can have all sorts of things in an omelette, lots of yummy different flavours. I know I personally actually quite like zucchini, if you can believe it. Fried zucchini in an omelette I quite like, and also mushrooms, bacon, as you said, and another one, cherry tomatoes.
Yummo.
Yeah, yummo. That can be really a really yummy omelette, can't it? Cherry tomatoes in an omelette, and a lovely warm breakfast on a cold winter morning.
And I have some good wholemeal toast as well. Here's Alec.
Yeah, wholemeal toast is really good for you. It gives you long, sustained energy through the day. It's got low GI. The energy that you get from wholemeal toast lasts for longer through the day, and it's a bit better for you. Also has fibre as well, which is good for your tummy. So wholemeal toast is the way to go, and it's yummy. So it's got a stronger flavour than white bread usually, and it's a lot better for you than white bread. So it goes really well with a warm breakfast.
So don't fill up on that McMuffins and bacon and egg McMuffins. Okay, this applies to you kids as well as you're going to school. I mean, it's okay on the weekend, but if you've got to focus on your schoolwork, Weet-Bix is the way to go. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, it is a great way to go, isn't it? Weet-Bix is such a good, healthy breakfast, particularly if you have something like banana with it. A banana with Weet-Bix is really healthy and a good way to start the day. Got some good vitamins in there. And Weet-Bix, you know, just like your wholemeal toast, Weet-Bix has good fibre and low GI. So it's a really yummy, healthy way of starting the day.
And always squeeze some juice, some fruit and vegetables if you've got a juicer, like we said. Have some juice with your breakfast as well as your tea and coffee. So what you're doing, guys, is you grab some celery, watermelon, pineapple, oranges, even beetroot if you like it, strawberry, tomato. There are so many different fruits and veggies you can turn into juice. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, wow. So that, I mean, lots of different combinations. You're sort of kind of talking about a fruit smoothie for breakfast, aren't you?
Fruit and veg.
Fruit and veg smoothie, yeah. So, and I guess if you put beetroot in, it would make it bright red, wouldn't it? It would be a super, you know, kind of a red one, and it'd be quite interesting. I actually haven't done that very often. I don't know if I've ever had a fruit or veg smoothie for breakfast. Do you ever have that?
No, but I'd like to try it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We should definitely try it one day. I know that across the road, the cafe across the road, they do fruit smoothies. I'm not sure if they do veggie smoothies as well. Do you know?
Well, I'm talking about juice, not smoothie.
Oh, juices. Okay, yeah. So fruit and veg juice rather than a smoothie. Yeah, okay. And I suppose it's a really quick way of having breakfast too, isn't it? Because you can just drink it. You don't have to kind of eat it slowly. You can just sort of drink it fairly quickly. It's a really easy way of having breakfast, isn't it?
So very quickly for lunch, have a nice hearty soup. Bring some in a flask. Make a double quantity of vegetable soup or chicken noodle soup, guys. Put it in a flask, bring it in, heat it up with your favorite bread. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, mate, soup's a great option for lunch, isn't it? What is chicken noodle your favourite? Is that why you said chicken noodle? What's your favourite soup or your favourites?
Well, pumpkin soup or tomato soup. Any kind of soup, really.
Yeah.
As long as it's not spicy.
Right, yeah. So then sometimes you can get a spicy soup. Even tomato soup sometimes is spicy, isn't it? Some people put Tabasco, I think, in tomato soup, but that's a bit less common. Pumpkin soup. Chicken noodles are a great option too, isn't it? With a bit of protein in there in terms of the chicken. It's a great option for a soup. Do you have any other soups that you like?
Sweet corn and chicken.
Oh, yum. That sounds delicious. You're making me hungry, mate. Sweet corn and chicken is a great soup. That sounds really yummy.
So, the last thing we're going to talk about now is the new intro and outro. We played them for you, but I'm still using the old ones at the moment. And the last thing, just going over the COVID, okay, before we wrap this up. Okay, guys, if you've got COVID, please stay home, go home, or if you're at work and you pick up COVID, please go home immediately. Here's Alec now.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Yeah, so we did talk about the new intro and outro last week, and I'm just looking up some of my notes from last week. So we talked about using some footage from a very cool old movie. What was that of?
The Hawkesbury River Bridge.
Yeah, so there was a section of sort of just music in there, around the 9:45 mark of that video, and we talked about maybe using that for an opening credits scene, and then there was the end credits of another video, wasn't there?
The Queensland video.
Queensland Roads, wasn't it? So I haven't done that yet, but we talked about maybe having a think about it together. And you also were talking about, at last time we caught up, about a map of New South Wales, which is kind of interesting, isn't it?
No, a map of New South Wales, and then CPA Productions.
Like a logo screen at the end.
Yeah.
So, that's what we've talked about. We've got a little bit of a technical issue in terms of my computer is no longer a Mac, so I don't have iMovie on my laptop anymore, do I? But we have two different options. We can either have a go at trying to get some software on my PC, which is a Microsoft Windows laptop, or we could switch to my iPad. So my iPad is an iMovie, tool, so we could have a go at just kind of doing it on my iPad instead.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest way to go, right?
Yeah.
Because, learning about a new software tool and downloading it and installing it, maybe paying for it too, because it's interesting that iMovie comes bundled, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, so iMovie's bundled with the operating systems for Apple, which is super cool, and it's a great piece of software. But I don't think Microsoft has a movie editing software. Do you know?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they've got one that is as good as iMovie, which is kind of bundled. So we'd have to find a third-party software tool.
So, just going off the intro and outro, to close the show today, winter is coming up, so just one more time, Alex, if you can get me.
There it is there, and I don't know if the viewers can see it, but there's a little red line at the top and no red line at the bottom, which is good news. Good news. That means that the test is working well, but that you do not have COVID, which is great.
So, if you know you've got COVID, guys, please don't come to work, isolate and protect yourself. And the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, you know what it is. The 3 donuts, please don't be stupid with 000. Only call it in an emergency. So here's Alec now to close episode 16 with that today.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. Always a good community service announcement from you about using 000. It's one of those really important services in the community, isn't it, that we have to really respect and make sure we use
Because
it.
the wrong call that you make goes to 000. I may need it again after my chest pain, so please don't be a bugger with it. Sorry for saying it on the show, or a nincompoop. Don't be inconsiderate and just think, oh, you need it. So here's Alec now to take us out with that message.
Yep, thanks, Barry. Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. So nobody should waste that resource, very important resource, and we need that resource to be available, don't we? Because
I could be sitting here with Alec right now saying I've got chest pain and I may not be able to continue the show. So don't be an idiot with that number.
yeah,
And that is episode 16, episode 17 coming up very, very shortly. Thanks for your company today, and we will catch you next time round on the show. But until then, it's a very good morning to you and to all the viewers out there. What a beautiful day it is. And just to let you viewers know, I am in the process of making a music album.
wow, that's cool.
So you could be hearing me on the radio soon.
That's awesome. That's super exciting, Barry.
So, from Alex Taylor and myself now, have a great day and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for having me, mate.
Bye-bye.